I have written another library for the Arduino and other compatible boards. The link is in the description of the video if you wish to download it. It is called StackString. I wrote it to address a concern some people have with memory fragmentation when creating strings in their programs, as the strings allocate memory from the heap. My StackString is intended as a drop-in replacement for string. At the time of making this video, it has almost every feature that the string object has, the implication being that I may add to its functionality at a later date. It uses stack for memory allocations, so you need to know how long the desired string should be initially. The stack string checks that it's not writing to memory that is outside of its internal buffer, and it also has a lot of flash string support. Let's have a look at the example program given with the library. To create a stack string, you put how many characters you want in the brackets. Internally, it creates 1 byte extra, which is a 0, to make sure that the internal buffer ends in a 0, as you can directly access the internal buffer if desired. So when calling the length function, it returns a number of characters in the string, although there is a function called capacity, which returns a maximum characters you can store, ignoring the final 0. The first object is created from a string in RAM. Some of you may not be familiar with using that f function, but that is a convenience function for putting strings into flash memory to preserve RAM. I can use it to get a string out of flash memory and into the StackString object for manipulation. This section prints out contents in a familiar fashion. You can use the equal sign with strings in RAM and in flash as expected. Here, starts with can use strings in RAM and flash as well as other related functions. I've included support for converting integers to strings and into different number bases. Here, I demonstrate accessing a character with these square brackets. There is an internal character which is passed if you supply an index that points to memory outside of the buffer, so if you change it, it changes the safe internal character and prevents a crash. There are numerous functions here which should be self-explanatory. I'd like to draw your attention to making substrings. You supply another StackString object into which substrings will be placed, but otherwise it acts like the substring function supplied by the Arduino environment. Here is something else I'd like to show you, which is the trim function. This is a little different to the one in Arduino string in that it removes more types of white spaces from the start and end of the string, such as new lines. I shall leave the rest of the functionality for your perusal, as I doubt I would need to elucidate upon every single function, as I feel the program is sufficiently clear, but bear in mind that you may have to pass the internal buffer to some functions in your programs, so the same C_str function can be used, which acts the same as the one in Arduino string. I do hope this library helps you in your projects, and thank you for watching.